Hello YouTube, Sandre here. Today I'm gonna respond to a guy who claims that there's scientific evidence that the dinosaurs coexisted with human beings. Yeah. Fuck my life.
Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for watching Beyond the Science. It's Mikey Chen. When we think of dinosaurs and humans, we never associate them with each other because they supposedly belong to completely different time periods. Dinosaurs were prehistoric reptiles that appeared during the Middle to Late Triassic period of the Mesozoic era, which is around 230 million years ago. They were members of a subclass of reptiles that included birds and crocodiles and got their name from the ancient Greek word dinos, meaning terrible, and sauros, which means lizard or reptile. Dinosaurs first sparked people's curiosities in the 1820s when scientists found huge bones of an unknown reptile in the English countryside. Ever since then, dinosaurs have been favorites of children and adults, probably because they're extinct and can no longer eat us. Their sheer size and uniqueness have inspired many documentaries, movies, and stories alike. Humans, on the other hand, according to scientists, are relatively new to Earth compared to the large lizards. While our ancestors have been around for about 6 million years, modern humans evolved about 200,000 years ago. That means that humans and dinosaurs never coexisted, much less interacted with each other, right? And although many people believe that it's impossible for humans and dinosaurs to have coexisted, there has been clues from fossils, paintings, ancient sculptures, and more that tells a slightly different story, implying that humans did in fact interact with these ginormous lizards. I know this is a super controversial topic, but it's also really interesting. So here are some clues for the coexistence of humans and dinosaurs. Hear it out and make your own decision. One of these clues was found in May of 2012 when the brow horn of a triceratops was excavated in Dawson County, Montana that was dated to around 33,500 years ago. Triceratops, a name that means three-horned face, is believed to have first appeared during the Cretaceous period around 68 million years ago and became extinct after around 2 million years. The Triceratops brow horn found in Montana was stored at the Glendive Dinosaur and Fossil Museum, which sent a sample of the outer portion of the horn to the Paleochronology group in order to carry out carbon-14 dating. The head of the Paleochronology group, Hugh Miller, then sent the sample to the University of Georgia for that exact purpose. For those of you who aren't familiar with carbon-14 dating, it's basically the way to find the age of certain artifacts with biological origins up to around 54,000 years old.
Right. Well, you see, they arrived to this result because they used carbon dating, which, if you may remember from a previous video of mine, you can only use carbon dating to date anything at max 50,000 years old. Also, this dating was done by creationists, which I find hilarious because in my previous video on carbon dating, among other things, the creationist in that video wanted to prove that carbon dating isn't trustworthy, nor is radiometric dating, which is very common with creationists. You see, creationists usually argue that carbon dating isn't accurate at all, but all of a sudden, when they try to use it to prove their point, all of a sudden it's trustworthy, which to me that's some funny ass fucking hypocrisy. So the number that they achieved, which was 30,000 years old, is not very surprising at all, considering, well, they should have used other types of dating instead that are far more trustworthy when it comes to stuff that is millions of years old and not thousands.
Carbon-14 was never used to test dinosaur bones in the past because, like I mentioned, it's only reliable up to 55,000 years. But that's only because scientists thought that it was useless to test bones that belong to creatures that became extinct 65 million years ago.
It's not just that it's not useful, it's also that it can lead to results that are just flat out wrong. And wildly wrong, mind you. Like in this case you just brought up.
Because of this, methods such as radiometric dating of volcanic layers is typically used to test dinosaur bones, which yielded results that were more based on assumption. It became clear years ago that paleontologists were not just neglecting to test dinosaur bones for C14 content, but were refusing to.
See, this is one of those cases where what he just said is technically speaking not a lie, but what it implies is very deceitful. You see, it is true that researchers, paleontologists, who want to date dinosaur bones, for instance, they refuse to use C14. That is true. But why do they refuse to use C14 dating? Maybe because, as I just pointed out earlier in this video, it's not fucking trustworthy for this type of thing to be dated. If something is millions of years old, then why would we use a method that's only reliable up to max 50,000 years or so? Alright, that's it. I've had enough of this video.